If you earn a salary from overseas or plan to put some savings in foreign currencies, you just might want to know which are the best multi-currency accounts out there. Say no more, because in this video, I'll compare the top 6 multi-currency accounts for you in Malaysia, and I have put them in a table here based on their features, their fees, their requirements, and lastly, their special features. And I'm sure these will help you a lot to select the account that best fits your needs. Alright, let's get right into it. I'll start with this multi-currency account that I've been mentioning ever since. For those of you who work overseas or you are planning for a vacation overseas, Wise is a perfect match for you. Wise is known for its transparent fee structures that you can even check on their platform for free without signing in and without sending a single cent, and it allows you to exchange your currency at a mid-market rate, which means you are not losing out in terms of foreign currency exchange rate, something traditional banks always do when it comes to foreign exchange. And what's more, they only charge around 0.4 to 0.7% of conversion fees, on top of the zero transaction fees, unless you have insufficient funds for the particular currency, and that means your blended average fees is significantly lower than the 2 to 3% that banks usually charge. I mean, just look at this example. If I were to send 1,000 Sing dollar back home, I would receive 3,481 ringgit. Easily one of the best rates among the other banks and remittance services. And if you could use some extra perks, which, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? They do not charge any account opening fees or annual fees, which we all hated, on top of providing 2 times ATM withdrawals with limit up to 1,000 ringgit per month for free. But do note that there is a maximum withdrawal limit of 23,000 ringgit of cash every single month. And before you ask, yes, they do provide debit cards in a form of a Visa prepaid card, and it comes with a one-time fee of only 30 ringgit 70 cent, which you can later on add to your Apple Pay for quick payment as well. Super convenient, especially when you're traveling. I've used it in my recent Japan trip and it worked like a charm. It even auto-converted my ringgit to Japanese yen immediately to make up for the insufficient amount. But what if you don't use Apple Pay or you don't like physical cards? Well, just use their virtual card, and unlike any bank, Wise does not require an initial deposit to begin with. You can simply open an account with them and not deposit any amount of money. No minimum balance to maintain as well, so you don't have to worry about them closing down your account. So if you want to get a fee-free transfer from Wise and also support this channel for absolutely free, do use my referral link down below to get your Wise account open today. Thank you very much. The only problem with Wise that I can think of is that it has a daily transaction limit of 30,000 ringgit on top of the maximum holding limit of 20,000 ringgit in your account at any point in time. So if you have a lot to transfer frequently, don't worry, because I have 5 more options for you in this video. The next one we have here is the RHB Multi-Currency Account that allows you to transact up to 32 different currencies. Let's say if you are sending your kids to study abroad, or you and your partners are staying in different countries, or you just want to send or receive money from your family members in different countries as well, this may just be the one for you. But just before you open this account, there's a little prerequisite. You need to first open a ringgit savings or current account with the bank, and in most cases that would mean you need to visit a physical branch to get that done. Extra work? Yes, but do hear me out. You can consider their RHB Smart account as well. It's a type of high interest savings account that gives you up to 2.85% of interest if you can complete a few simple transactions on a monthly basis. I mean, might as well make some money from it also, right? I've talked about the different high interest savings accounts in Malaysia before, so do check it out right over here. So back to this account's features, it does provide debit cards at a fee of 20 ringgit upon card issuance, and on top of the one-time fee, they also charge an annual fee of 20 ringgit. But in general, RHB charges zero conversion and transaction fees, given that you already have sufficient money in that particular currency. Confused? Well, me too. Let's look at the examples from their website. If your account has 200,000 ringgit and you have 20,000 in US dollar and 10,000 euro, In scenario 1, spending $10,000 in New York will just deduct from your US dollar fund since you have sufficient US dollar cash. But let's say you are in Europe. If you want to spend 20,000 euro, you still lack 10,000 euro, right? Well, this is where the entire 20,000 euro will be deducted from your 200,000 ringgit balance, and that amount will be charged at a 1% currency conversion fee. But let's not forget, that is on top of their hidden exchange rate spread, which from their website, the rates doesn't look too impressive. As of 1st December, the exchange rate of US dollar to ringgit is around 4.67. On this end, RHB online transfer will need 4.886 ringgit in order to exchange for 1 US dollar, while the exchange rate via the debit card transaction is slightly better at 4.7. But regardless, you can see there's quite a bit of stretch taken by the bank over here. And moving forward, their inward telegraphic transfer, where you are receiving money, is free of charge, but it costs $10 when you are performing an outward transfer, basically sending money from Malaysia out from your account. It's a bit too expensive, but very much expected from banks if you ask me. And also, they require an initial deposit of $200, but other than that, there's no account opening fees, no minimum balances required, and your money is safe with them because it is insured by PIDM up to 250,000 ringgit. I mean, technically all banks we mentioned today are members of PIDM that will compensate your money up to 250k if, touch wood, the bank suddenly collapses or goes bankrupt. And next in line, another popular choice among foreigners, and for good reasons, my friends as well, the HSBC Everyday Global Account. Compared to Wise and RHB that both offer more than 30 different currencies, HSBC offers only 11 currencies. Good enough for savings, but might not be as convenient if you require more flexibility in that particular department. And yes, HSBC also provides a debit card, and what's more, it's free of charge, my friends. Overall, they are pretty lenient with their fee structure. Almost everything is free. No account opening fees, no annual fees, zero conversion fees for supported currencies, required zero minimum deposit, and also no minimum balances. So the barrier of entry for this account is very low, almost costing you zero to have this account opened. They do have some fees, of course. For one, they are charging 1% currency conversion fee for unsupported currencies. I would assume they mean for those that are not in their 11 supported currencies. And also transaction fees that differ depending on the currency you are sending. If it's US dollar, it's most likely around 4 US dollar, while for Sing dollars, they will charge at 6 Sing dollar over here. So somewhere around 18 to 20 ringgit per transaction. And so if you compare this with the inbound and outbound transfer fees charged by RHB, then this HSBC one is definitely relatively cheaper. And other than that, their ATM withdrawal is only free when you withdraw from HSBC ATMs in Malaysia, which honestly, to be frank, is something you can hardly see around over here. And any other Malaysian Maps ATM withdrawal will charge the standard 1 ringgit fees per withdrawal, and it can go up to 10 ringgit depending on the ATM network you are using. And speaking of their limitation, they restrict the ATM withdrawal limit to 5,000 ringgit per day, which in my opinion should be sufficient enough. Unless you have some international business going on, then you might need to explore SME accounts instead. And to round this off, the daily purchase limit that includes online transfer, JomPay, and etc. can go up to a limit of 20,000 ringgit by option. So next up, we have the Maybank Master Foreign Currency Account. While this account offers 16 different currencies, I would say this Maybank Master Foreign Currency Account is essentially an online savings account. Why? Because it does not come with a physical debit card. So you should only consider this account if you aim to save or invest money in different currencies and you are not going to spend or pay bills with it. And fees wise, you can enjoy free account opening with zero annual fees. Similar to the HSBC account, you will be charged a transaction fee of 4 US dollar or equivalent depending on the currencies you aim to convert. And meanwhile, the currency conversion fees and ATM withdrawal fees are not disclosed on their webpage. Maybe it's hidden somewhere in their statement, but either way, I believe if they do really offer free conversion, it should be the first thing they promote in their official website. So most probably not free lah. And like I've said earlier, even if it's free free, there will always be hidden conversion spread with banks. I'm almost 100% sure of that. So in order to open this account, Maybank requires you to put in an initial deposit of 1,000 US dollar, which is close to 5,000 ringgit, and is easily the account that asks for the highest deposit on our list of guests today. Not that I would complain since we are talking about foreign currency accounts, so 5,000 ringgit is a lot, but it's still pretty reasonable in my opinion. But of course, it's higher than other banks over here. The only perk I see opening this Maybank Master Foreign Currency account is if you are already comfortable with the Maybank ecosystem, and you are likely to be linked to your existing Maybank accounts, and its flat fee of 4 US dollar per conversion is actually pretty competitive before the hidden conversion spread, of course. And just a small bonus, it also comes with a free coverage of personal accident insurance up to 75,000 ringgit, depending on your account balances. Might be useful for you frequent travelers, more like a bonus than a necessity if you ask me. Now moving forward, we also have PayPal, which you probably know two things about this company. One is that our legend Elon Musk used to be their CEO, but he got kicked out later on. And two, this company has a very complex and relatively expensive fee structure, and its currency conversion fee stands around 3.5 to 4%. But Zeta, so expensive, why include in this list? Well, back then, before we even had Wise or these online remittance companies, PayPal used to be a much cheaper option compared to the foreign telegraphic transfer offered by banks. And I do know people around me today who uses PayPal frequently for their international businesses, since PayPal is widely accepted worldwide, like an old internet bank. Plus, it's integrated with some e-commerce tools, so it's still a favorite for many people, especially business owners. So back to their fees. First of all, setting up your account is free. There's no monthly fees, no minimum balance is required, nor inactivity fees. And to fund the PayPal account, bank transfer or direct deposit of your paychecks are free of charge. And to send money via PayPal, it also depends on where you are sending from. But for any international payments, they charge around 5 US dollar for each transaction, and this is on top of their not so favorable currency conversion rates. So that said, it does sound like a bad option all in all, but remember, this option would appeal the most to businesses that need to receive international payments, because there will be no fees as long as you do not convert it back to your base currency. And last but not least, let's talk about the Leong Pay&Save account, which is technically not a multi-currency account, but instead a savings account that allows transactions in 12 different currencies. So I still included it in this list. And just like any of your usual savings account, you can get a debit card with an 8 ringgit annual fee, but the account opening itself is free. And when you're making transactions in foreign currencies by cards, there's a 1% transaction fee imposed by Visa or MasterCard, plus another 1% conversion markup imposed by the bank itself to convert it from ringgit. And interestingly, they claim that there will be no extra fees charged for conversion being done online. So I've tried it myself to see if it's true. I'm actually surprised, because if I were to convert 1,000 ringgit to US dollar, I'll be getting 211 US dollar at the exchange rate of 4.718 with zero fees. I mean, if I do the same thing but on Wise, I'll be getting an extra 60 US cents at 212 US dollar. But for a conventional bank, their rates look rather promising. It might differ from time to time, so please do check on that for yourself. And other than that, their ATM withdrawal fees are pretty standard if you ask me. Free withdrawals from the ATMs in Malaysia, a small charge of 1 ringgit using any of the MAPS ATMs, and it goes up to 12 ringgit if you withdraw overseas with any of the ATMs supported by the Visa or MasterCard network. As for account opening, they do ask for a small 50 ringgit initial deposit, and you need to keep your account minimum balance at 20 ringgit at all times, which is pretty standard and nothing to complain about really. And speaking of the withdrawal limit, you can withdraw up to 10,000 ringgit per day by ATM, or transact up to 50,000 ringgit using their debit card. So overall, this account looks pretty solid, and it's also protected by PIDM for up to 250,000 ringgit. And you might want to give this account a shot if you're already a Hong Leong Bank customer. So after comparing all 6 multi-currency accounts, I can safely say that personally, I'll still stick to Wise due to its transparency. Plus, it offers the most currencies options at one of the lowest currency conversion and transaction fees. And they offer both the option of a physical card and virtual card as well. And on top of that, Wise does not require any initial deposit or a minimum balance to maintain it, so it's pretty much zero maintenance for me. But of course, for those of you that require higher wallet balance like more than 20,000 ringgit, the HSBC Everyday Global account and also the Leong Bank Pay&Save account are great options as well. HSBC's require lower maintenance, while Leong's gives a higher withdrawal limit that goes up to 50,000 ringgit. But all in all, they are all pretty comparable with each other. But if you are staying in Malaysia and working a remote job from anywhere around the world, I think the RHB Multi-Currency Account is a great option as well, as it's basically free of transfer fees when you receive the salary, which you can later on convert into Malaysian ringgit. Alright, I hope this comparison helps. Do comment down below to let me know which account is your go-to choice. And in the meantime, if you want to find more ways to store your money in US dollar, one of the best currencies in the world, I have just the right video for you. Click here to check it out. See you over there.